You ever feel like a real small little cog in a big giant wheel, and no matter what you do or what you say, they're just gonna do whatever they're gonna do right on top of you? Well, yeah, I feel like that too. We have an opportunity for all of us to stand up and have our voice heard by the FCC regarding the new rulemaking 20-270. I'm going to show you how the website works. I'm going to show you how to do it. I'm even going to give you what I just wrote to the FCC, and you could take it, make it your own, or if you have a completely different opinion on it, you can express that too. Talk about it this time on K6UDA Radio. So the FCC application fee proposal proceeding is open for public comments. Comments are being accepted now on the notice of proposed rulemaking on docket MD 20-270. This is the proposed rulemaking that will say there's a $50 fee now for an initial license, a renewal, and upgrades on a ham radio license. If you're not opposed to it, if you think that $50 is good and you're going to get something out of this, then fine. You could either get on there and make a comment that says, I think this is a wonderful thing, take my money. Or if you think, like I do, that this is a net negative for the service, get on there and express your opinion. Formal deadlines for comments and reply comments will be determined once the NPRM appears in the Federal Register. Comments may be filed now, however, using the FCC electronic filing system. Posting to MD 2070 docket. The docket is open for accepting comments, even though deadlines have not been set. Here is the notice of proposed rulemaking, and you can read the whole thing for yourself. And I'm not going to go through this whole thing because it is 245 pages of rulemaking stuff. Now, I assume that only part of it has to do with ham radio. If we go into the filing here, there is two things that we can look at. So if we go into the website here, it comes up with this standard filing here. And this is so full of things that attorneys and lobbyists would use. I don't even know what's in there. Then they have a thing called an express comment. This is what I'm going to fill out here. My proceeding, I'm going to type in 20-270, and there it is. It comes up. Let's put that in, and it would be, and I'll enter my name here. I'm going to speed this all up for the sake of you not having to deal with it. Address international, my address. Let's put all my address stuff in there. And then my brief comments. And my brief comments will be this letter. I am going to copy this letter that I made, and I'm going to go back here and paste my letter in. I want an email confirmation. I'm going to review it. My filing has not been submitted yet, and I am going to submit my comments. There's my confirmation that they have now received my public comment. So I don't know how you feel about this, but me personally, I see this as a net loss for the hobby And for the amateur radio service, since I did the last video on this subject, I have heard a lot of comments, both for and against, actually. There's a lot of guys that say, look, it's $50, it's $5 a year. And I get it. Yeah, $5 a year is not a lot of money at all. Here's the thing. Guys like me, maybe guys like you, will look at $50 and we would pay it. We would pay $50 a year if that's what the government said you'll pay. But now, is that really good for the hobby and good for the service? I don't think so. See, in this 250 pages of proposed rulemaking that the FCC has set forth, I don't see anywhere in there, and nobody has said that we are going to get anything extra, that we're going to get enforcement, that we're going to get any more in the way of a ULS or service or priority. It doesn't even say that for your money, we're going to protect your spectrum. Think about this. Just a few weeks ago, the FCC announced that they made $4 billion with a B auctioning off spectrum to large telecoms. If every single ham put up $50 a year in the country, $50 a year, that's $3.8 million. That isn't even a fraction of what these big telecoms are giving the FCC to take over huge swaths of bandwidth. I get this whole paying your fair share thing, but really what we are in the grand scheme of things is just a drop in the bucket, a small, small drop in the bucket. I look at the people much like myself when I came into this hobby 10 years ago. I came in out of curiosity, out of having seen it done years before, kind of putting it away, never really invested in it. I had a use for radio. I didn't know what ham radio really was all about. I took a chance on it. I got a license, and lo and behold, I became invested in ham radio after I had that license, after I had become a ham radio operator and gotten involved in the community. And I'm sure there are tons of you guys out there with the same kind of experience. Now, had that experience been a little bit different, say there would have been maybe that $50 fee attached to making an application, I possibly would have said, yeah, you know what, I don't need to do that. And I would have gone on and I would have done something else. I suspect at $50, at a $50 upfront, what I call an entry fee, others will do the same thing. A lot of others. In 2019, there was 30,000 some odd new ham radio licensees in the United States. By my estimates, let's just say that 2/3 of those people are the uninvested right off the bat. They don't know anything about it. They're getting their license for some other reason. Red Cross, Off-Road Association, prepping, whatever. They don't really care about the service itself. It's the radio that they care about. And getting a license right now is just some kind of a technicality. Let's get rid of them right off the bat. So now we have just 10,000 new licensees coming into the service. And how many of us are either dying off of old age or whatever, having life get in the way of the hobby and dropping out of the hobby because of marriage, kids, mortgages, HOAs, whatever. I think we're heading down the wrong direction. We're heading toward that net negative. And eventually the FCC is going to look at the dwindling numbers of ham radio operators and think to themselves, you know, we have a better and higher use for this huge amount of spectrum that we have granted these individuals. Hence, they start auctioning off bandwidth. Guys, I have droned on about this for 10 minutes now, and I know you don't want to hear about it for another 10 minutes. So let me just say this. This is your fight. This is my fight. It is time for us as individuals and a collective to stand up and be counted. Whether you agree with what I say or not, whether you want to pay the $50 every 10 years or you want to pay $50 a year, you can do that now. You could stand up, you could say, I'm in favor of this, or you could stand with me and say, you know what? I don't think this is right. We can do better. You, the FCC, can do better. You can find a better way of implementing your rules. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got something out of it, and I hope you do get involved. Thanks for your time. No big exit speeches here. Have a good one. I will see you on the next one. I'm Bob, K6UDA, and I'm out of here. 7-3.